live from Evo. We got 2 people up here, I guess. I don't see them yet. It's trying to update.
Is we on?
I believe we are on. Hey, everybody.
Hello, everybody. We got a red over here.
Yep, I think you're good. It says it's good.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I am Jim, the second half of GNR Design, and I'm also the one that packs and ships Vicky's beautiful items. And we thought we'd just give you a quick little video on how we do the shipping, the packing, and what we use and what we've learned to make it a better deal for the customer because of lower shipping and easier all around. First thing we start out with is this is a customer ordered bow, and we always take any bows or wreaths that have the bow loops, stuff them with tissue paper to help maintain their size
The lady is with us. She
and
says
area.
hi.
Hello.
That's Luann. Hi, Luann.
Hi, Luann. And we also cut the board that the bows go on, unless they're a much bigger bow, they go on a 10-inch board because...
Yeah, we can show them the boards, what we use.
Yeah, we utilize just simple Elmer's trifold foam boards, which you normally buy for kids when they have a high school project they're doing and need foam board to
Yeah, we've got lots of
complete the
experience
project.
with that.
Yeah, we got 2 daughters that we have to do that with. The boxes that we use for the bows are, as you can see here, 10 by 10 by 10, but the better you can cut the box down and still keep your item in it safe, the better the shipping rate is, the happier the customer is, and then we're happy. So, just to show you, I've already assembled.
What's the size of the box?
Size of the box is a 10 by 10 by 10.
For this particular bow, some of the bigger bows.
Well, no, I'm going to show them that it gets cut down depending on the size of the bow.
Yeah.
What we normally do is we'll lay the bow out, take our tape measure, and see what the overall height of the bow is going to be. And this one will work out to actually be about a 6-inch bow, or a 6-inch height. So I will end up cutting the box down to that 6-inch height. With making the foam board 10-inch and having a 10-inch box, this will securely keep the bow in the bottom of the box. It won't move around. It won't, flex back and forth and damage the bow. We hold the loops up a little. You set the bow down in here, and it presses in. Excuse the sound. Presses in nice and firmly, and then I will gently roll the tails that she has on the bow, if that's the particular item. And as you'll see, it sets right in the bottom of the box.
And you don't have to pipe cleaner it
You
down.
don't have
or
to
anything
tie
like
it
this.
down with anything. You just push it in there. That's why we use the 10-inch foam board, because it sets flush and tight. Now what we do next is we'll use a box sizer.
To cut the box down.
Right, so that you are saving the customer money on shipping. You're also saving yourself money on shipping. And what I'll do there is I will take the box sizer, it's got a little hook on it, and adjust. I don't know if you guys can see it very well or not, because the light won't go in the box very well.
That's good.
You'll adjust it up and down as to the height that you need for the box.
And then it just makes a serrated line all the way around it, correct?
Right. It'll make a serrated line all around, and then you take a razor knife or whatever, and you'll cut from that serrated line, and I'll show you here in a minute, up from where we made our mark inside. so that you know you can fold it over there. So now we'll go down here, and that's about right. You gotta tighten it up to lock it in. There we go. And then it's got the serrated teeth on here. So when you hook it on the side of the box, you put some pressure, and it can be tricky at times, and just simply go across that one, and you'll do this on all 4 sides. You don't have to get crazy with it. And there you go. Now you take, I always use one of these, your razor knife, and you'll go down to, and I know you guys can't see this because it's so fine, there's a line in here from the box sizer, and you'll go down to that line and cut straight up in the corner.
So that you can fold your box down
right
where it should be.
Because one of the things that you don't realize at first when you're doing this is box weight can make a difference.
Cost, yeah.
And we learned that, and since then we have tried to make sure we do what we can to keep the cost down for the customer and ourselves, which they pretty much like. Now, a lot of people would think it's better to have, you know, these flaps folded over completely. Problem with that is, again, we go back to weight. So, you'd be amazed at the difference, and Vicki can tell you the difference. I do it like this, and then I will find it's not always a perfect straight line. I will find the center of the box, cut off the excess, follow my line again for the other flap.
Guess I forgot to turn my notifications off. Oops.
Forgot what?
Turn my notifications off.
And then you'll pull the other side out. Go ahead and fold those down.
That extra cardboard makes a difference on your cost.
Oh yes, absolutely. The extra cardboard does make a difference, as we've seen. Do it again. And again, it's not going to be a pretty straight line necessarily, but I think people are more worried about saving money than a pretty line.
For some reason, I'm not seeing comments. Hey guys, if you're on here, leave me a comment. Let me know where you're from.
Okay, now that we've got those sized, what I will normally do is I will take tissue paper on every one of our items. We'll put tissue paper in to help protect the item, and we'll tuck it down in over the item and get it in there nice and secure. And then we have, behind me here, sorry, we take our invoice and a business card. On a 10-inch box, you got to fold it in half. On the regular wreath boxes, it'll fit in there nice and fine. It'll be the top thing on when they open the box. But we'll take it, we'll lay it in there with our thank you. We'll close up the box. I'll put a temporary piece of tape.
Mildred said hello from Louisville, Kentucky.
Hello, Mildred. And then we'll get our scale so we know how much the item weighs. Set it up, weigh it. This comes out to 11 ounces as opposed to, it probably would have hit a pound had we not taken everything.
Which knocks you
out.
into a higher shipping profile. I forget what the differences are, but if you can keep it under 16 ounces, it's a cheaper cost.
Absolutely. And at that point, here's another good tip for you. If you can't find the vinyl shipping plastic that you can get from the post office or UPS or wherever, go buy a box of the large or the heavy duty document protectors, and it will, each sheet will make 2 pouches for your shipping label to protect your shipping label when it's en route to the customer. And at that point, I would...
You take those sides down,
right? Right, you're right. What I would do normally, as you may not be able to see here, Another thing that we do on every box is I seal any access to the item. I seal all the corners, I seal across the bottom of the box, on the top of the box, the exact same thing. So, you know, even if it was dropped for a second in water, it wouldn't be able to get in because all the access to the item inside is blocked by the tape. And we use heavy duty tape. Next thing I would do is I would take the shipping label, set it on top.
Take the ends.
Oh, well, you want me to go ahead and tape it?
That's,
Yeah.
yeah, that one's ready to go out. That one's done.
That's right. This is a custom order.
Yeah, that's
So
not.
here's what I would end up doing. I'm going to take and tape initially across the center line. Get that nice and sealed. Then I will go on the edges like so, and I'll turn this around so you can see it better before I finish taping it. Okay. I'll make sure to press it down really well, and as you see, we have tape overhanging, and that's how I seal the edges of the box, so that hopefully there's no way anything can get into the customer's product and the customer's happy with what they see when it gets there. And so far I think it's done all right. Vicki tells me that we've not had any complaints on shipping yet, or she would fire me.
Yeah, I just hand in the product and he handles it. I don't know what happens to it once I make it.
Yeah, I'm the logistics guy. And that's how that's sealed. And then your shipping label gets taped on the same way. And I will cut a short piece on each side, long pieces on the ends, and that box will be done to go to the post office. Great thing about that is if you pay for it here and I take it to the post office, there's a long line, I can walk right past them, set it on the counter, we're good to go.
Yeah, because typically we use USPS for shipping, and I just purchase the shipping labels through Etsy. You get a discount rate. I mean, there's other places, there's other apps out there you can get discounted rates for shipping, but I just purchase them through Etsy, and then all you gotta do is walk in and set it down. You have to wait on the line.
Right. Now, on regular
He is good at Christmas wrapping, Luann, yes.
They always give me a hard time because they say I put too much tape.
He does. He drives me crazy with the tape, but he does do a good job.
On the wreaths themselves, we will use a 22-inch box because most of her wreaths will fit in a 22-inch box, and it makes an outrageously different cost shipping than a 24-inch box.
Yeah, if you use a 24-inch box, it throws you into a balloon rate. So if you can possibly use a 22-inch, you'll save. It's almost half the shipping cost.
And I'm not going to go through fully taping this box and everything because you've seen what I did on the smaller one, but I will go over a couple things that we do that so far has worked out fine and customers have appreciated. Is whenever she makes one of these beautiful wreaths.
Mildred is asking where we got the box sizer. Where did we get that? Amazon?
Amazon. Yes, we ordered it from Amazon. And the weight scale we ordered from Amazon, and those are indispensable tools.
They're inexpensive too, right?
Yeah, they're cheap, and they make it so easy to do what you need to do and get the box out to the customer.
And what is that thing called? A box sizer?
This is a box sizer.
Okay. See, y'all, I don't know much about it. I just say I need this shipped out,
and so everybody sees, you can take a box like this, and if your item, once it's in the box, only goes to this height, you have a knob here where you can drop this down, and this hangs on the corner of the box so you can cut it.
So you can put
it will set there right above the item. That's what you want to adjust it to. Lock it down, and then go on each side, and then you cut your corners, fold it over, cut off the excess cardboard. You've got a much cheaper shipping rate
And how deep will that go in? What? How deep is that? Like
It
12
will
inches?
go, yeah, it'll go 12 inches.
Yeah,
It's
so
actually 13 inches it could go in, but I found that we usually will go, like on the 10-inch boxes, we've at times gone from 10 by 10 by 10 to 10 by 10 by 5 or 6. And it
Rachel
makes a
said
major
you're
difference.
so good on a Facebook Live. He's going to start doing all my Facebook Lives for
Psych.
me, Rachel.
Side. And back to the wreath box, there's a couple things we do with this that we don't do with the bows, of course, because the bow's backing board holds it firmly in the box so the product doesn't move. The wreaths, on the other hand, have a little more content to them, a little more weight, possible to shift around, you know, being in a truck and banged around. So we will normally take 2 pipe cleaners.
You want one? Here, I'll go.
I had some out already. Like a fool, I don't have them sitting right beside me.
It don't matter.
And I'll show you, yeah, she's bringing me a couple. I'll show you what I do. I will take, if it's a wreath like one of these, and there's not enough room for one to work, I will take 2 of them, put them together at the ends.
Barbara said you're a pro.
Not, yeah, pretty retarded oddball, like back in school.
He did logistics and shipping and stuff in the Army, so I got lucky when I hired him.
So we'll put 2 of them together like this, and then when I find my spots in the bottom of the box, I'll take this nice pointed screwdriver that I ground the end off of to make a point as an awl. And
or whatever.
With the, I'll just set this one down here for a
Now
second.
that one won't go, that one.
No, this will not fit in a 22-inch box, I do not believe.
No.
But what I want to show is I'll find a spot on the wreath in the box where I can take the awl, poke a hole through, same thing on the other side.
And work that.
And then from the bottom of the box, I will work the pipe cleaners up so that they come around the wreath like so, and not damaging any of the work that she's put into it, so I don't get fired. And then take my pipe cleaners and twist them tight as such on each side. Then that wreath cannot fall off the bottom of the box. It won't slide around, it won't bang around, and it will arrive in the same condition that it left here in. And then on the bottom side of the box where the pipe cleaner is visible, we take the packing tape, tear a piece off, put it over the pipe cleaner so that in transit it doesn't get jerked by another box or get hung on something. It's nice and smooth. The pipe cleaner's protected, the wreath's protected, and the customer's happy, which is the ultimate goal.
And what do you put over, once you get the wreath in the box, what do you cover
I will show you in just a
the
moment.
wreath with? Honestly, guys, I don't watch him with all this, so I'm kind of learning myself.
All right, we got that pretty back up there. All right, after we get the wreath in there and it's secure, because you can't really do this beforehand, I will do the same as you've seen me do on the bow, only larger pieces.
Barbara said you needed to ask for a raise.
You'll take larger pieces, or I do, and I will make sure that the product in the box is completely covered with a nice fresh piece of tissue paper, and then lay Vicky's invoice on top of that with their business card, seal the box the same way, and put on the shipping label just like with the 10-inch box. And so far it has worked out beautifully for the shop, for Vic, so I think I get to keep the title of logistician.
We've gotten a lot of good reviews on shipping. He's quick, he makes sure that the box is secure. We've never had an item damaged. I think the biggest takeaway is the way you can cut the box down and save yourself on shipping costs, and how he ties things into the box to make sure it's good and secure.
That and sealing all the edges where something could get into the box, or moisture, dirt, water. I do on every item we ship out for her. It gets sealed on any area that could allow something into the box, and the product inside is always tightly secured so it won't flop around, roll around, and the customer gets what the customer paid for, which is the ultimate goal in the end. And that's pretty much how I do the boxing and shipping. And I'm sure as we go and she builds the business, we'll have more items that we can show different methods of boxing and shipping or creating that we'll share with you. I certainly appreciate anybody who showed up to watch this. I'm sure it wasn't all that invigorating.
Very informative, very informative. There's a lot of people that really struggle with shipping on some of the items, and you know, the biggest thing is the shipping cost.
Right.
So these tips will, if nothing else, save you money and time on your shipping and shipping costs. So if you've got any questions, let us know.
That is one of the main reasons that her and I decided to do this video. Is when we first started out, we had some shipped items that we kind of bought or ate the shipping cost on, until I finally figured out how would be best to reduce the weight and the height of the box. First start out, you put it in the box that's closest size, shut it up. It may not be the most compact box or the lightest, but you're trying to get the object to the customer so that they're happy because they've already paid for it. Well, we finally narrowed down that there's ways to manipulate the boxes where the customer still has a secure item. It's nicely packaged. It has, you know, the tissue and the invoice, and it's sealed really well, and it protects the item. That's my ultimate goal: protect the item so that it gets to the customer intact and they're happy with what they ordered, and it reduces the cost of shipping, which makes Vicki look like a champ.
Barbara said this was a very informative video. Good job, Jim and Vicki. Thank you so much.
Thank you, folks, for showing up for the video. I hope I didn't bore you too bad. And remember G&R Design when you're looking for something to beautify your house. Y'all have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.